Welcome back, everyone. Toyshiz here, and I am back yet again to give you guys another fresh look. And today, we're going to be talking about a whole heck of a lot of new Jakks Pacific. I always call it World of Sonic the Hedgehog, or just Sonic the Hedgehog in general. Everything from, let's say, the classic video games to the more modern video games to Dreamcast and the movies and everything else. So it's going to be fun. So I picked up this 30th anniversary lines Amy, right? I tried to go for all the different unique characters. We got Omega, certainly remember him. Rouge the Bats. The old Dreamcast days, this character was everywhere. I definitely remember her. Tails, this is the more modern Tails, of course. And you got Shadow the Hedgehog. Everybody likes Shadow the Hedgehog, right? And Silver, who I'm really not too familiar with, but he's got a cool design. I think he's a time traveler, something like that. Crab Meat, the original, right? Running through the level, you finally get right to the end and you knock into him and you lose all your coins, of course, right? And then I had to get Robotnik Jim Carrey because he comes with the Austrian goat milk latte. This is going to be fun. I'm very excited. There's a lot of great figures. They were just putting them out on the shelf, and with the movie coming out, everything else, I just was like, you got me, right? But with all these new action figures, I want to say a special thank you to Jakks Pacific. They actually sent over the new, the Tornado Biplane. So this is Tails' plane, if you've seen the new Sonic the Hedgehog 2 movie. There will be spoilers for this. It's been out long enough. But yeah, it's basically a vehicle slash playset. So I definitely appreciate that. We'll open it up. We'll take a look. We'll get to see all the exclusive Sonic and Tails figures inside. But yeah, I really like that they made a vehicle for him, right? And then you have the giant Eggman robot playset, which I didn't even know this was a thing. They sent it, like, here you go. I thought it was the other robot that I have. But yeah, again, this is straight from the new Sonic 2 movie. Kind of, sort of. We'll take a look at it. But yeah, it's basically Dr. Robotnik's giant robot from when he creates it at the end of the movie. Again, kind of, sort of. But hey, it does come with an exclusive mystery figure inside. I wonder who that silhouette could be. So in either case, I'm very excited to be checking all these out. So sit back, relax, grab yourself a nice hot cup of coffee, maybe a chili dog or two. This is a look at some of the brand new Jakks Pacific World of Sonic the Hedgehog, the movies, the video games, the classic nature, everything, you know, you get the idea. Let's check them out. And while I got all you Sonic the Hedgehogs here, I just want to say thanks so much for always checking out my videos. If you haven't already, please do consider subscribing. Old Toys, New Toys, daily news updates. I guarantee you'll find something here that you like. So we'll kick it off, right? We'll start things with Shadow the Hedgehog. Opened him up first. I'll admit, he's got a great character design, right? Red, black, white. He's doing the thing. He comes with 3 rings. I like this. I like that they gave you so many rings. It looks like they're from the playset or something like that because they have the holes in the bottom of it. But hey, 3 rings is cool. I wish they would do that with their World of Super Mario. Give you more. Give you like 3 or 4 coins, a bag of coins. But Shadow the Hedgehog, again, very well done, very cool looking figure. No qualms whatsoever in terms of paint, which is nice to see. A lot of times with the World of Super Mario, the paint is but the top heaviness of old Shadow the Hedgehog, yeah, he's got a huge head of quills, and he's very top heavy. His little tiny spindly legs don't really help prop him up. But he's got a lot of articulation. He's got, again, a lot of great paint. I love the gold mixed with the red on his shoes. That actually looks quite fantastic. I do wish that the articulation, maybe in the elbows, something like that, but it breaks it up sometimes. But he holds the rings nicely, right? So at least he can do that. All in all, I'm pretty happy with this figure. It's going to be a nice addition to the old Sonic the Hedgehog catalog on my shelf. So yeah, can't go wrong with old Shadow. Which brings us to Amy. Amy Rose, distinctly remember her. She was in a different look, different costume. What was it? Sega CD, Sonic CD, something like that. But she comes with a giant Harley Quinn hammer. It's actually really well painted, nicely done. Good for smashing and bashing old Robotnik androids and whatnot. But she's a very colorful character. She looks fun. She's got a lot going on, like her little pink spiky hair that's coming off of her. And she's got peg holes on the bottom of her feet. Yellows, pinks, reds. This character's a lot of fun. I do like I'll always say, I do like the original designs, the shorter, squattier designs for Sonic the Hedgehog, but this Amy figure, it's pretty cool. And you can put the hammer right in her hand, and she can go smashing and bashing, doing the whole Donkey Kong thing. So definitely a cool character to have. Which brings us to Silver the Hedgehog, and I did have to look him up. I'm familiar with the character design, but I guess he was in the rebooted version of Sonic the Hedgehog. And his accessory is a red star ring, which looks pretty good. Again, looks like it comes from a playset where you could kind of hook stuff in, but it's reuse, what have you. But this guy is actually pretty dang cool looking. Now, again, I'm not too familiar, but I guess he's a time traveler, or he's like an ancestor of Sonic. Whatever, he's just got a cool design, right? He's a cool looking video game character. Nice treads on the bottom of his feet. He's not quite as back heavy as Shadow the Hedgehog, which is nice, but he's got the big oversized hands, and I like his palms, like little designs in there. The big old clodhopper feet. He can hold the ring pretty dang good. So all in all, I'm actually pretty happy. This guy is a very cool looking character, and he'll go well with Sonic and Knuckles and all the other hedgehogs and echidnas and whatever else. And then we have Omega. So before I looked this up, I was totally under the impression, I thought he was in Sonic Adventure, right? Something like that. No, he comes from Sonic Heroes, something like that. So I don't know who I'm thinking of, but he comes with one of the emeralds, right? So that's pretty cool. I definitely like that. Chaos Yellow Emerald. But Jakks Pacific, you talk about these anthropomorphic hedgehogs and whatever, they do robots pretty dang well. I'll show you in just a bit. I have that giant Robotnik Death Egg robot. But yeah, they did a fantastic job with Omega here. He's got all kinds of articulation to him, the parts and the pieces. It just looks like the character straight from the video game franchise. So they did a amazing job. Very different, but of course very video game-ish, very Sonic the Hedgehog. And the back of him, all the greens, the reds. I mean, he's sculpted to the nines. This thing is pretty dang cool. So to have a giant robot now in the midst of all these hedgehogs, yeah, he's definitely a solid addition to the Jakks lineup. And then you have old Tails. What can you say about Tails? That hasn't already been said a dozen times. He's cute. He's awesome. Tails is a great character, so definitely like him. He comes with that whole end of the level ball thing, right, where you spin and you hit it. I have one of these from a prior release. Yeah, I mean, it's cool for what it is. It's a nice little accessory. Tails, he's all bright-eyed, right? He's got the mouth. He's got the yellow. He's got the white. Pretty well painted, and I like the big clodhopper feet. He's got peg holes on the bottom. And, of course, he does all the articulation. Everything you could want for a Tails action figure. Stands nice. He's got the dual tails, which actually rotate, so you can do the whole helicopter thing, right? So I like that they included that. That's going to be pretty cool. Now, I'll tell you, I am under the impression, I thought maybe you could pop this guy in the Tornado Biplane that I'll have a look coming up. But, no, you'll soon see that will not be the case. But you got a Sonic figure, you got to have Tails. Which then brings us to Rouge the Bats. Now, again, in looking at all these characters on the shelves and everything else, I was like, hey, if any all these like shadows and silvers, I definitely know Rouge, right? That was a mainstay character of the Dreamcast, Sonic Adventure 2 days or whatever. She comes with a giant heart volleyball. I have no idea what this thing is, but she's very well done. I like this. It brings back all the nostalgia, sitting in front of Dreamcast, going over your friends, playing with a weirdo controller, everything else. So definitely a very well done figure. She's got some huge hands on her. Of course, all the hedgehogs and whatevers do. And yeah, just with the articulation itself, I mean, it works for me. We all know how Jakks Pacific figures go. They're working with some very specific character designs. The feet, the legs, everything works. So yeah, she's got giant, like, heels, go-go boots with the hearts on them, and she's got these really cool bat wings. They are exactly what you see. She's got a little tail, and then you got a giant volleyball. She can hold that in her hand, and you can tell me down in the comments exactly what this was. I don't remember that at all, but yeah, Rouge the Bat, definitely a solid figure. And then you have Dr. Robotnik, straight from Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, part 2, right? So that's pretty cool. Jim Carrey, he does a great job as Dr. Robotnik. Comes with one of his egg drones, which, I mean, there's not a lot going on. It's basically just kind of like a whitish, silverish egg. But then you pop open all 4 of these little arms and such, and it's got paint in it. It works for what it is, to be honest with you. But this is the real reason I bought it. When I saw it on the shelf, I'm like, he comes with the dang Austrian goat milk latte. He loves the way you make them, so you got to get him, right? And yeah, in so many ways, as simplistic as this figure is and the sculpt and such, I mean, it looks like Jim Carrey, right? Surprisingly, he's got double jointed elbows, double jointed knees. This guy, you want to talk about articulation, he's got a lot of articulation for a smaller type 4-inch figure. So well done, Jakks. It's pretty interesting, and he can hold the latte, and that's all I need from this figure because that's amazing. And for obvious reasons, I love that part. Which brings us to crab meat. You got to have this guy. Again, surprisingly, for being one of those smaller type figures, like the $5 price point, this guy is loaded with articulation. His little crab hands, right? You can give him the clamps. The eyes will rotate. Well, one of the eyes rotates. The other one, I don't know why he doesn't want to rotate. But his little feet, each of the four little crab meat feet, jeez, will move. And, you get him to stand and do all that kind of stuff. So, again, when you're running through Green Hill Zone, and I'll say it right this time, you get hit by him and you lose all your rings, you can just smash this guy and make yourself feel better. But enough with the action figures. We got a biplane to build, right? So, if you open up the box, it comes complete with all the different parts and pieces. Some assembly required, of course. You got the 2 figures in little plastic bags, which I love. And, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just put the plane together. And I really like a couple things. They already apply the stickers. You know how I am about stickers, so thank you for doing that. A little bit of assembly, doesn't bother me at all. And then on top of the whole biplane, you get 2 2.5-inch figures to play with. So, the $20 price point, that's not too shabby at all. The plane itself, for a video game, for everything else, I'm glad they made it, right? That's actually pretty cool. And again, straight from the film. You have Tails this time around. Let's say like the variant figure of Tails for the 2.5-inch line is that he has a little helmet to him with the glasses. He looks cute. He's adorable. You get the idea. He's well painted. They're actually very well done. And Sonic, again, no difference there. He's actually pretty cool. I wish that he did have knees. That way you could get him more in that running position. You know what I mean? But the plane itself, I'm kind of torn in between the plane, right? Again, it's a nice looking plane. Again, Sonic the Hedgehog, the movie, the video games, whatever you want to say. It's Tails' plane. It is kind of light, not janky, but you know what I mean? It's like got that, there's not a lot to it kind of thing. That's what I mean. It's not hefter heavy. However, you can push the back part of the wheels right here, and it spins the propeller, and I gotta admit, that's actually pretty cool. I like that they put that in. Good thing I read the directions, because I would have totally missed that. But hey, it's a nice little addition. It's got some movement to it. Inside, you can see the control mechanism. You got the cockpit, everything else. You can put Sonic right there with little peg holes. Or you can simply just fit Tails right inside, and he goes in there nicely. So I definitely like that. I appreciate that. I think that looks cool. It's really self-explanatory. You can do the whole propeller thing again all day. But then, little peg holes on top of the wings and such, right? So that's where the peg holes on Sonic come in, and you can recreate the whole movie thing, right? Before he gets hit by the missile and whatnot. So that's actually pretty cool. I like Jakks' attention to detail. It's not like the most solid action figure, and when you turn it over, Tails is definitely going to fall out. Sorry about that, Tails. It's a pretty cool playset, especially if you're a kid. You know what I'm saying? And in all honesty, the Dr. Robotnik figure definitely does fit better with the 2.5-inch. So definitely get him if you're looking more in terms of scalature, because, yeah, he's just too big for the 4-inch scale. Even though he's 4-inch, he definitely goes for the 2.5. But I got to tell you, I really like how the plane looks in photography and such with the whole Robotnik Death Egg robot that was released some months back. That's one of my favorite Sonic the Hedgehog Jakks toys in general. So it definitely looks good. So you can get your Supersonic. And you know what happens at the end of the movie. Speaking of which, right? The final toy of our tour around the Sonic the Hedgehog aisle. So we have this giant Robotnik Robot, right? And he comes in a bunch of pieces. And I got the instruction booklet. And we'll pull them all out. And yeah, I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. You just read the whole thing. You got the big Robotnik Robot that he pieces together himself. This whole playset, I'll tell you all day, is very light, very minimalistic. I see what they were going for. You got the big old arms, right? And then, of course, you have this big section of a bridge, which is kind of like a teeter-totter. It'll rock to and fro. And then you have the big secret figure of the set. Spoilers. I'm sorry, too late. It's supersonic, right? Straight from the end of the movie, gets all the emeralds, and you can see he's more of the movieized version than the regular video game version, which totally works. So here's everything put together for this set, and I'll tell you first and foremost, I think if you're a kid, you're going to go, you'll play with this for 5 minutes and then you don't get it anymore. It's, again, very minimalistic. It's pretty much, you could kind of say it's a game, kind of, you know what I mean? You see the arms, they move up and down, you got the big fists. If anything, as far as like a collector is concerned, it's kind of a display, if anything. I mean, you have the big bridge, right? So you can put all your characters on that. Yeah, it rocks to and fro, and you can put Supersonic, you can peg him in on one side, even though, as you can see, right? So the whole thing, from what I'm gathering from the instructions, is you're just supposed to kind of bash the bridge and knock Sonic around, right? And then if you bash it, it'll collide into the Robotnik Robot, and then he'll fall back. It doesn't really make a whole lot of sense, to be honest with you. It's kind of like, okay, right? I think, like I said, my other Death Egg robot, that's a much grander figure, first of all. And as you can see, it's very hollow underneath. You have these two handles right here. If you're a kid, you can move the handles, but if you pull it back too much, then the whole robot comes back, so you kind of have to hold it. You know what I mean? So, again, I'm going to tell you, this is one out of everything we've looked at. It's just going to be kind of a, if you're a Sonic collector, sure, by all means, but I'm definitely not going to recommend it. It's just kind of like, But I'll tell you all day, if you got all your figures, it makes for an interesting base. It looks like it's straight from a video game, especially with the purples and the blacks and everything else. So in that sense, it's cool. But for what it's trying to achieve, trying to reenact, just go with the giant Death Egg Battle Robotnik Robot. That's hands down one of the coolest toys of the last couple years. I'm not even going to lie. It is very cool. So when compared to this, there's no comparison. But you could put old crap meat there and Dr. Robotnik. See what I mean? It makes for a cool base. You would think Robotnik would have this in his lair. You know what I mean? Something like that. Or, I don't know. This is a video game thing. Put old Silver there, Omega, Silver. You get the idea at this point. This one's a pass, but if you're a collector, you want something cool for a base, yeah, sure, why not? So that's going to wrap it up for my look at all the brand new Jakks Pacific World of Sonic the Hedgehog, the movies, the video games, everything Sonic the Hedgehog. A lot of solid action figures. They always do a great job with the 4-inch line. The 2.5-inch line is cool. They got playsets galore. Perhaps we'll look at those coming soon, but I definitely do like the biplane. It is kind of, it goes either way for me, but in all honesty, because it comes from the video game and the movie and everything else, I think it actually is well done. I like that you can move the propeller. The giant robot playset, if anything, it's good for a base, but if you're buying it for your kid, I wouldn't. I think that they would be much more happy with getting a bunch of action figures before getting that thing, to be quite honest with you. But as always, I'm curious to know what you guys think. Comment below, let me know. Let's talk everything Sonic the Hedgehog. And thank you to Jakks Pacific for sending some of the playsets over to give you guys this fresh look. And I'm going to leave you guys with that. As always, drink some great coffee, eat some great food, but most importantly, remember, Sega! Classic. And when you do, let me know what you found. I'll talk to you guys soon. Adios.